What is up, YouTube? We are finally back. Listen, Marvel Rivals has been in a pretty dire state for, I would say, some time now. Really, since I think a lot of people say like since 4.5, season 4.5, but I'd say definitely within like the last 2 months, like the game just hasn't felt the same. But we do have a new division. That boy Guang Guang is going to be changing the landscape a little bit. So I'm excited. I've played barely any ranked actually last season. Like I didn't even finish my placements. I maybe played like 6 games. Just because the game really wasn't fun. Like I mean, triple support is like it's whatever. Elsa is just turbo broken. People still throw, teammates are still babies, and granted all of this isn't Marvel's fault, but there's just been a lot like surrounding the community, and it's kind of felt really stale. So it's time for something new, and it is that time for something new. We have new season, new characters, new team ups, so let's go ahead and get into it. No more need to wait, and let's see.
Hello everyone, Guang Guang here.
So
It's
Guang Guang.
great to be back with you all. Mayor Fisk never imagined that his city, still reeling from the devastation of the Eternal Night, would face an even greater crisis. Out of nowhere, Alchemax Corporation from the year 2099 descends upon Lower Manhattan, spreading its influence like a plague and transforming entire neighborhoods into their 2099 counterparts. Determined to save New York from being completely consumed, Fisk takes desperate measures. He orders a city lockdown, arrests all superheroes from different timelines, and hires Black Cat to steal a mysterious stone tablet. He believes this
I'm not gonna go
tablet
back,
holds
but
the key to New York's survival, but unknowingly, his actions have cost the lives.
oh my gosh. She looks so good. She actually looks so good with shirt and tie, bro.
With the
Like,
current Tiger Division director, White Fox, to rescue her captured
colleague,
colleague, Luna Snow. White Fox risks everything to infiltrate this barricaded foreign city. In season 7, White Fox joins
strategist,
Marvel
and
Rivals.
White Fox is
White
coming
Fox is
first.
a
That's
strategist
crazy.
who
Okay.
wields the power of her Gumiho bloodline, alongside
swift martial arts, adapting her combat style to fit any battle situation. In combat,
she can use Yuoge Sword to heal allies and damage
Fox
enemies,
Marbles.
absorb and store Gumiho energy, then unleash it to buff teammates and charm foes. Whether allies are getting dead or trapped behind enemy lines, White Fox can instantly reach their side, channel her Fox bloodline for partial transformation, and use Jab Claws and Mystical Tails to push back enemies while healing teammates. When she activates her ultimate,
White Fox reveals her
She looks
full
so
nine-tailed
cool,
form,
dude.
using powerful claw strikes
Oh my
to
gosh.
suppress enemies and heal allies, while also infusing Gumiho energy into teammates to grant them unstoppable and lifesteal effects.
Does that mean is
helping the
unstoppable
team
like
shine
CC? Cause I'm pretty sure like Groot got that ability with his Iron Wall. So if you could give your team CC immunity, like think of all the ults you could get off. Like Doctor Strange is a free ult at that point. Spider-Man you would never have to worry about. Um Scarlet you can't CC. You can still kill, but you can't CC her. That would be kind of nasty.
crucial
There's a lot you
moments.
could do with that.
The new Convergence map, Lower Manhattan,
Oh, and it's
will launch
convergence
after
too.
April's
That's
second
good.
update.
That's good.
Can keeping safe New York without superhero help. What
sparks will fly when Black Cat and White Fox cross paths. Stay tuned. This update
will feature a major round of balance
A major round of balance
in a moment.
adjustments.
Zhiyong will explain our plan,
the adjustment process, and the specific changes in detail.
Times Square. Following this mess over.
Photo mode in Times Square
Has helped everyone capture countless amazing moments. To make sure these memories last,
Season 7 brings the album
Nice. Okay,
system.
that's cool.
Now you can permanently save your Times
Square
Square photos
to your album and revisit them anytime. You can also share your best photos,
earning likes, and interactions from other players.
That'd be cool.
Let your photography
I like these,
shine
like,
across the Marvel
More
universe.
casual oriented like
See
changes.
Apple Pools.
You know, like quality of life
Deadpool
stuff.
and his buddy Jeff have been cooking up a new special duo emote together. Jeff Rodio. The other heroes can't wait to
Yo,
log in from April 1st to April 3rd.
you just
to
gonna
play
ride
this emote
Jeff?
for free. Use the emote with friends in Times Square to earn
Funny to
gift
use.
and title rewards.
Accessories, okay.
For Season 7,
we've prepared a batch of adorable new accessories for White Fox, Iron Fist,
Okay, who do we got here? Twins. It's for the Fantastic Four, so I'm not sure who those are for. Like, I don't know them. Penny, Adam Warlock, Luna. I don't know who that is. I also don't know who this is. I'll have to look these up. This is kind of cool though. Yeah, I don't know who any of these heroes are. Except for the ones that are obviously like Marvel character or like Marvel Rivals characters. That's cool though. I like that they use these as a way to kind of like tease characters a little bit. Cause I think if I remember correctly, I feel like even White Fox was an accessory first before she got into the game. And my boy Quicksilver is an accessory, so I'm really hoping that means that he comes to the game this year. But these are cool.
Hawkeye, Mr. Fantastic, Ultron, Adam Warlock,
Penny Parker, Mainland, Hulk, and Elsa Blackstone. This will be released with the new update. In Season 7, verified college students will get access to a new rotation of 10 costumes and MVPs. University students can verify with their education email to unlock these exclusive benefits. Now, I will hand it over to Zhiyong.
for all the details on Season 7 team up ability changes.
Balance
and
updates.
balance updates.
That's what we're here for.
Hey Rivals, I'm
See
Joe.
ya.
And as Season 6 comes to a close and Season 7 approaches,
I'm here to walk you through all the team up ability changes and our major balance adjustments, featuring a comprehensive and deep analysis of our balancing approach.
Team ups? Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah, of course, of course.
White Fox and her Agents of Atlas teammate, Luna Snow, reunite in this new team up ability. White Fox grants Luna a spirit fox that protects her. Luna can activate and send out the spirit fox, which travels in a straight line, passing through both allies and enemies, healing teammates while damaging and briefly charming foes. After launching the fox, Luna also gains a movement speed boost for a short duration.
I have to go back. What the heck?
Luna
Sends a
can
spot- a
activate
fox
and send
out.
out the spirit fox, which travels in a straight line, passing through both allies and enemies. Healing
That cast time is quick as hell.
while damaging and briefly charming foes.
Obviously, they'll probably explain at some point, like, what the charming does. But I'm glad I picked up Luna, because... Which, granted, it's Agents of Atlas, so it's like, this is the one time where it, like, actually makes sense for her to get a team up. But... I love being a dumb baby, bro. I love being a dumb baby. Life is good. Life is good. New team up every season.
Luna also gains a movement speed boost for a short duration.
Oh. Oh, I'm
Storm
scared. I'm
channels
actually
her
scared.
elemental power into Adam Warlock with the force of a Spheric Cyclone. When Adam uses his Soaring Surge ability, his movement speed is increased. While flying, Adam leaves behind a track trail that heals and speeds up allies who pass
Okay.
through it.
This is actually cool for multiple reasons. And this is gonna be a little bit of like my tinfoil hat, but I think it is incredibly important to have precedence for like trail-based healing because, and again, this is just a tinfoil hat, so sorry for the brief side note or tangent here. But personally, I think if I was designing Quicksilver, and I might make a video about this at some point, I would make it to where like as he dashes around, you heal by stepping essentially like where he was. And it kind of like lingers for a while. And then, you could mark someone and they get like maybe a little bit more healing from it. Um, all that to say, them testing out a concept like this where he flies and you get healing as long as you're kind of like in that cloud, to me is the first iteration of that type of mechanic. And I think actually multiple heroes will benefit from it, either with this cloud kind of representing like damage or like healing or like even something else like a movement boost or like some type of property. I really like the idea of them bringing that to the game. Like I said, I have personal heroes that I would love for them to incorporate something like this. But even just still, I think that it kind of makes it a bit interesting because, again, it's like, it's just basically doing other things to where it's not just look at ally and like click your button and heal them. Like, like being able to do other things, be a little bit more like flexible. To me just feels like it gives you more like playmaking opportunity and it just kind of breaks everyone out of the, or at least supports out of the point and click heal mentality. So I think this is really cool. And I really hope that they continue to like build on this and like I said, I kind of hope it makes its way to Quicksilver, but if you guys are interested, I will actually make like my own like little imagining of how I would want them to do Quicksilver. So I can also do that too. Just let me know in the comments.
The track trail that heals and speeds up allies who pass through it.
Adjustments to existing team-ups. Okay.
Jeff is set to dissipate and be removed from play.
Thank the heavens, bro. Because why was it in the game for that long? Like that NATO has been a team up, I feel like since like at least like season 4 or 5, if not before. Like I feel like it's been in the game for forever. It has basically no counterplay. Just because, like you can fade it with cloak. Um but otherwise, like, even if because that's the thing about regular Stormwell is, like, if you're Psylocke or Phoenix, and she pops her ult, you can just ult them back and you'll actually just kill her or get her really weak to where she's, like, one shot. But when you do, and I've never tried this with Phoenix against Stephnato, but when you do your ult as Psylocke against her ult, it'll swallow you. Like, it'll just straight up kidnap you, and at that point, like, you're just going to die in the ult. So, I'm really glad that this is, being removed from the game because it had basically no counterplay. Like, there wasn't a lot of counterplay for it just because of the whole, like, kidnap mechanic. So, thanks to freaking heavens, like, get that shit out of the game, like, respectfully.
Duality Dance has danced its last dance for now.
Duality, bro. Okay, thank you. Yeah, that's like Luna didn't need all these team ups. Like, and granted, at that point, Adam was worse, and so now that Adam is back and like really strong, they're probably just trying to make it to where like you don't just pick Adam, Storm, Luna, and just get all of those like abilities and extra like mechanics. But yeah, I like Luna didn't really need that one either. But again, that's just the whole. I love being a dev sugar baby, so.
And is leaving the stage. Season
Balance
6 saw the
adjustments.
arrival of Deadpool and Elsa Bloodstone. Deadpool, as our first triple hero, brought him small tactical flexibility. Thanks to his unique upgrade system, Deadpool can fulfill a variety of positions as matches progress through choosing different progression paths. His ultimate ability breaks the usual energy cycle, offering new ways for teams to break through enemy lines. Elsa Bloodstone is a new Hiscan theorist. She builds up instinct in battle and uses her expert punking skills, switching between her elephant gun and shotgun to pressure enemy flank lines. Unleashing the Grad trucks at the right moment can be devastating to the enemy team. Back in Season 5, we increased most heroes' base power and introduced new mechanics for ultimate ability energy, acceleration, and J. This sped up matches, increased the frequency of ultimates, and made combat more thrilling and intense, demanding better teamwork and coordination, especially to inflict overflow damage against the enemy during their strategist ultimates. Considering the need to maintain a smooth transition, we carry this environment over into Season 6, where Deadpool's unique ultimate energy system fit right in. But there is a trade-off. Easier ultimate access makes fights more exciting, but it also compresses the windows for neutral combat or repositioning, making the rhythm relentless and potentially tiring over time. So, considering the changing battle environment over the past 2 seasons, we have
And let me, before he finishes, just to say something really quick about that. Um, it didn't, obviously, it hit every elo differently, but especially the higher up in elo you got, the game really just, all forms of neutral kind of just disappeared, and it's kind of just devolved into like a ult charge fest, where it's like, let's just kind of sit, play our game, trade, poke, and like wait to build ultimates. And like, oh, we have Gambit ult. Okay, now we just press Q and win. Like, oh, we have I don't know, Elsa ult, like we just press Q and win. And that's just annoying for like really all parties. Cause like as a strategist player, I can tell you it's annoying because like 95% of the time you're just sitting there like trying to get your ult faster. So it's like, oh, let me use my cooldowns. Like nobody's fighting, nobody's trying to make any real engagements because no one's hard committing to anything because it's like, why would you when you charge your ult roughly every 30-45 seconds? So it's like, by the time you're already thinking about getting ready to engage, you're either have to ult or like, even potentially even farther depending on the character. So it just got boring because it's like, it devalues the rest of your cooldowns to some degree because it's like you don't really try to maximize them and you certainly don't try to combine cooldowns, which I think is really the most frustrating thing about this game because there are a lot of cooldowns that some characters have where if you kind of play around them, you kind of get access to mini ults. Like an example I love to use is Venom when he does the slam into the tether, just because like that in and of itself, like with nothing else, is already really strong because you're doing damage on the slam, you're headshotting, you're weaving in melee, and you have the tether, so they're not getting away and they do some burst damage. But if you by itself, like you're more than likely aren't gonna kill people unless you can single target, like isolate someone, then you can win. Um but the thing about even that whole sequence is that the minute you incorporate any other character into the mix, like I'm talking on the simple side of things, like you put an Ultron drone and he does the right click, so you get the damage boost. Kind of the same thing for like a Mantis damage boost, or even just other abilities. Like you're doing at the same time that a cloak does like a purple. And you will kill, like you will do a lot of damage and get at least like a few picks, and could potentially even win a team fight from there without even needing an ultimate, just because you are maximizing your cooldowns by using them with your team. I think the current ultimate economy just completely destroys that concept and it kind of makes it meaningless. And like it just the risks outweigh the reward at that point because like why would you try to go in and like do this massive cooldown dump and coordinate with your team when it's like you're about to get ultimates and you can just push with your ultimates anyway. So a little bit of a rant, but it it is just as a support player, and especially knowing how valuable support ults are in this game, I just think that it kind of did make the game, like Xiong said, tiring because you don't really get to play the game. It's like you get to farm your ult, then you get to use your ult, then you get to farm your ult, then you get to use your ult, and then that's the end of the game, which really just isn't fun for anyone.
The reason relentless and potentially tired by the camp. So, considering the changing battle environment over the past 2 seasons, we have put together a plan to restructure the current combat dynamic.
A restructuring.
Compared to previous seasons, more healing and damage exchanges also narrow the energy efficiency gap between triple strategies and standard double strategies lineups, lowering the entry barrier for triple strategies teams and making team composition more flexible. With strong baseline healing and protection, smart ultimate ability energy use, and fast-paced ultimate rotations, triple strategies teams offer high survivability. In this environment, dive heroes require increased teamwork to effectively burst down backliners or provide sustained disruption to make an impact. Divers who lack team coordination or solo dive have less value. Poke heroes, meanwhile, can relentlessly strip away at their coast, applying pressures to their survival and push both teams' ultimate into faster cycles. When teamfights break out, triple strategies lineups can survive longer to withstand enemy assaults. After absorbing this onslaught, they can unleash a powerful counterattack, relying on Vanguard and Duelist ultimates to turn the tide of battle. And while this is strong, we have heard the community thoughts about the playstyle, so let's look at some data on how much this truly affects the battlefield.
Okay. We're about to get into data. This will be interesting.
We've seen the community discussion around third-party lineup stats, so here's the Season 6 lineup pick and win rates.
Okay.
We calculate this.
Okay, so all ranks and then Celestial. So all ranks, 222 looks like it's still by far the most popular, and does have the highest win rate. Use rate at 59, win rate 53. One Vanguard, 3 Duelist, 2 Strategist. That one is super common just because no one plays tank. 1 Vanguard, 2 Duelist, 3 Strategist. Okay, 9.58% pick rate, 45% win rate. Interesting. Let's see. 3 Vanguards, 1 Duelist, 2 Strategists, 43% win rate. Okay, so I mean, there's clearly like a little bit of a gap between a 2-2-2 comp and all the other ones. It looks like, if anything, the having more duelists seems to work the best. Although 3 strategists isn't as bad, and it doesn't seem like it's being picked as much. And then for Celestial, all that was for all ranks. For Celestial, looks like 222 still has the highest win rate, really high used rate. It is interesting to see that once you get to Celestial, if 2 Vanguards and 3 Strategists has a 47% win rate, but 1 Vanguard, 3 Duelist has a 43. Okay, wow. So 3 Vanguards has a 48. So really, after the standard 222, the next best one is 3 Vanguards, 1 Duelist, 2 Strats. Or 2 Vanguards, 1 Duelist, 3 Strats. Which in either case is a clear indicator that for starters, having a Vanguard is just like tank is arguably the most important role. Yeah, because I mean, look at the 2 where it's like the 1 Vanguard, it's like a 43% win rate, 41% win rate, respectively. Yeah, and granted, like, and you can compare that to the 1 Duelist lineup. So it's like one duelist 48, one duelist 47. Granted, that's for Celestial. Let's just check again for all ranks. Yeah, 46 and 43. Whereas compare that to the one Vanguard, 48 and 45. Interesting. So it definitely scales. Um, I'll be honest, I would kind of want to see something a little bit more itemized for the all ranks just because, and this has been a historical thing, is that the issues that the majority of the community face and the issue that Celestial Plus players will face are just fundamentally different, and the Celestials are just like in the minority. Granted, what they're dealing with, at least as in terms of balancing, are in my mind like the actual true issues with the game. So like if there is a character that's too strong, or if there is a comp that's too strong, then that is something between high level ranked, and maybe not Celestial, but like, Eternity One Above All and Pro Scrims, like that's where to me, like, that's the actual proving ground for like where things are strong or not. Because realistically speaking, none of this matters too much unless your team is like coordinated and have high levels of coordination. Like until you get to that point, there's kind of like a caveat around all of these because it's like, even regardless of the comp that you're running, you're still running with like six humans who probably haven't like practiced together, which means that you're never in a ranked environment going to be able to maximize the true value of any of these comps. Not to say that, you shouldn't try or that you can't learn anything then from stuff like this, but it is really just to more so show that when you are looking or really trying to evaluate like what should and shouldn't be and like get actual like hard evidence as like, like how comps function, then that's where I think pro play and like pro scrims are just by and large the best way to get like data for stuff like that. But I still would like to see this chart like broken down a little bit more for the ranks below, only because again, like, and the ranks below, like the issues that they're going to be dealing with compared to these guys are just completely different. Like people love to complain about triple strat and Grandmaster and below. But I can tell you the amount of times that those same triple strat lineups are running Mantis or Loki or Adam in some cases. Like they're running mainline healers, and people are like, "Oh yeah, we can't kill them." And it's like, like just genuinely like get better. Yeah. Sorry. Again, a little bit of a rant, but yeah.
This lineup uses stats based on time spent in each composition. For example, in a 10-minute game, if 2-2-2 is used for 6 minutes, it counts as 0.6 games for that lineup. If 2-1-3 is used for 4 minutes, it counts as 0.4 games. If the team wins, both lineups get credited promotionally for wins. Considering this, you can see that double strategies remains dominant, with the classic 2-2-2 comp having the highest win rate. This is because while triple strategies are strong and forgiving, to reach full potential, strategies players must contribute more damage.
Yes. Yes. Because it's like, if you are playing Stratus and everyone is like playing like assassins, then you can make a triple strat lineup work. But in a lot of cases, like most people aren't playing that way. Like they're just trying to do more healing, which like cool, I guess. I was actually oh, right. The other thing I was gonna say about the reason why triple strat or triple support stats are slightly skewed is because in a 2-2-2 comp, or especially if the entire remainder of the match stays on 2-2-2 for the whole time, in more scenarios than not, at least in my mind, that just means the team is better. Because that's the other thing about even seeing triple support is that you kind of see it when things aren't going well. Unless you just have people who play triple support from jump, which that does happen too. But I mean, for most people who play like the game will know, it's like the minute anything goes wrong, it's like, all right, triple support. So it's like the fact that you are pulling out triple support inherently already when things aren't going well kind of then means that it's like, okay, from that point, you will have some games where triple support kind of brought things around and you win. But in a lot of cases, you will just still pick triple support and lose just like you would have lost on the 2-2-2 regardless. So that's where 2-2-2, at least in my mind, I could see the value or the stat line being slightly less inflated, because if you stayed on a 2-2-2 the whole time, you were either just doing your job correctly and the team won, or you guys just got fucked and it is what it is. But you didn't get fucked and said, okay, let's go triple, let's go what have you. And that's where it's like, kind of fundamentally with triple support, is the problem is that people are picking it as their quote unquote their idea of like, okay, we should do this and just win. When that's not how it works, especially like Xiang is saying, like if you're not doing more damage, you're just have 3 heal bots instead of 2. Like that's not gonna do anything for you. And I think that's why it's a little bit like 2-2-2 is still gonna be like the strongest role, but the fact that people switch to triple support when things aren't going well, to me, is already going to indicate that the win rates are already going to be somewhat skewed between 2-2-2 and triple support to begin with.
This is because while triple strategies are strong and forgiving, to reach full potential, strategies players must contribute more damage. They must not only compensate for the team's overall damage output, but also bridge the energy efficiency gap created by the sheer healing. Balancing healing, ultimate ability energy, and coordinating for maximum ultimate coverage. This takes skill and teamwork, making it more suited to large stacks. We share this data not to defend the current meta, but to encourage everyone to pick what works best for their team. We are making major changes to the overall environment in Season 7 for better combat experience.
Oh, okay. Starting off with the ults.
We are reducing overall ultimate energy gain range by about 20%.
Huge.
This will be turned differently for Vanguards and Duelists versus strategies to balance the experience for different team comps. For Vanguards and Duelists, damage to energy conversion will be reduced more, while passive energy regen will be reduced less, resulting in maintaining the overall count to around 20%. This narrows the gap between poke and dev heroes in energy game, letting divers catch up while repositioning or waiting for an opportunity.
I like that. I like that because for some characters, like especially, I'm glad that he brought up Vanguards, because we do not talk about how fast some Vanguards, and granted it's mostly group, but you do just kind of have to tweak the whole damage to energy conversion ratio, because tanks in this game do a fuck ton of damage. Like Thor, Thing, Groot, Venom, like Deadpool now, like Tankpool, like they do a fuck ton of damage, which I think is fine. Like it's good, like it's whatever, but you do have to like affect like their ultimate costs, because some of them, again, especially Groot, like Groot just safe farming as well.
For strategies, damage and healing to energy conversion will be reduced less, while passive energy regen will be reduced more, for seemingly about 20% total reduction. This change rewards teams for successfully isolating, blocking, or diving enemy strategies healing, and after the distribution of limited healing energy, makes triple strategies teams' ultimate rotation less frequent due to low passive regen. This is a foundational change, and we will be monitoring it closely. Our goal is always to encourage lineup diversity.
I actually don't know what he means by passive regen. I actually think I do know what he means. I think, and let me know in the comments if I'm wrong, but I think by passive regen, he just means that it's like, so by default, you are already going to accumulate your ult at a certain speed. And then from there, the actions that you take in game will only accelerate that charge. So it's like by Luna, like let's just say I get mine, like, I don't know, every minute and a half. That's just like my passive like regen quote. But you know, if I like do good healing, stuff like that, then I can accelerate it more. I think that's what he's talking about.
Will be reduced has damage a little can work and deal the balance with thing over.
Yeah, so let's just see if he can give us any more like clues on what
We are
pattern it is.
reducing overall ultimate energy gain range by about 20%. This will be turned differently for vanguards and duelists versus strategies to balance the experience for different team camps. For vanguards and duelists, damage to energy conversion will be reduced more, while passive energy region will be reduced less.
Okay, so he said for vanguards and duelists, damage to energy conversion will be reduced more, meaning you will do a shit ton of damage still, but it's not going to contribute to your ult as much. And the passive regen will be affected less, meaning realistically there's going to be less variability in like how often you get your ult. It's going to be less performance based, and it's actually just going to be strictly more of a timing thing, as in like they are going to bring down the amount of time that you would naturally get your ult, but you're not going to be able to just like team wipe and be like, okay, like I did a fuck ton of damage, so now I have my ult, which I think is I actually don't know how I feel about that. Like I th- overall, I think it's so where it's helpful is it will help with predicting when certain people have their ult, just because at that point it is more of like a timing cycle thing. Um, I guess the one part that I don't like, and it just more because it feels like less intuitive, is I guess the whole concept that it's like, regardless of the amount of damage you do, like it doesn't, it affects your ultimate less. Which, to be fair, even going back to what I was saying before, if that's the case and you kind of like break this direct correlation between the amount of damage you do and you getting your ult, then it does kind of like allow people to just think less about their ult. It's like, oh, okay, my ult's coming up soon. But it's like, I think the knowledge that maybe you have less control over when you get your ult kind of just may make you play in a way that you are more independent of your ult. So it's like rather than I'm playing Gru, I know that my ult's at 60, I'm going to get it soon. So okay, like let me do almost like a pre-engage, see if I could like bait out any cooldowns, because the whole time, like I'm going to be I'll be, doing a lot of damage essentially. Like if I put like a few walls down, isolate a target, throw the whatchamacallit melee, like you can you almost know when you're playing certain characters, at least in the current iteration of the game, that it's like you almost know like with a certain cooldown rotation, like how quickly you'll get your ult from that. And that's kind of something you have going for you. So it'll be interesting to see that it feels like, and he's right, it is foundational. They are essentially splitting that entire correlation, almost entire, or destroying that relationship between, at least for vanguards and duelists, between the amount of damage you do and when you get your ult. And it's not like a 100% thing, meaning you will still build your ult by doing damage, but it does seem like their focus at least is going to be more around you can do a bunch of damage. You should do a bunch of damage. Your ult is just going to be a different thing. When you have your ult, you're obviously going to have an opportunity to do something with it, but it is not going to be one of those scenarios where you're going to be able to re- refine your game plan or tailor your game plan in a way that allows you to build up your ult quicker. Which I think, honestly, after kind of talking it out, it is kind of a W change. It just doesn't feel intuitive. There's like, I do all this damage, but it doesn't really like affect my ult charge like that much. And granted, we don't know how much it will, but I mean, he said it will do less. So that'll be interesting. I think it could take the community a little bit to kind of like shift into that, but long term, I do think that would be healthy for the game because, at that point, again, you're not really thinking about your ult, or it's like you are in that you know when it's coming, but it's like the way how you play is going to have to just be more independent of getting your ult, which I think is a net positive change.
Resulting in maintaining the overall count to around 20%. This narrows the gap between poke and depth heroes in energy game, letting divers catch up while repositioning or waiting for an opportunity.
Yes, and that is a major point, because like kind of like we were saying about when you play some characters that know that they farm their ult, it's like if you're on a dive character or a character that has like these windows of engage, and in the meantime you're not going to be doing anything, good luck heaving up against a poke hero. Like, because if I'm poking 24/7, then like I'm always there. And if we're building our ults by doing damage, then some people are just going to have inherent damage advantages because they could just do more damage consistently and don't have that same window. So it will also change realistically, like the whole balancing of the game, I think, for the better, because now it's just going to be who uses their ult the best, not necessarily who can build their ult the quickest, which is a great change.
For strategies, damage and healing to energy conversion will be reduced less, while passive energy regen will be reduced more.
Now, this one is interesting too, because he said, let me go back to it. Yeah, damage and healing energy conversion will be reduced less, and it's the passive regen that will be reduced more. Meaning, it's kind of the opposite approach between like the Vanguards and the Duelists. So it's like, if you use your cooldowns correctly, or in a way where you are able to do more healing, then you will get your ult faster. But if you are not quite like AFKing, but if you aren't doing as well, especially because he said damage and healing, I'd really be curious to see how that split looks, because to be honest, that is a major split between like, if you're doing a lot of damage, how is that going to impact your ult charge? And if you do a lot of healing, I really just don't I just really don't hope that it kind of still reinforces the same like heal bot system, because I mean, at least from what this is saying, like it is still essentially going to be possible where like the more you heal, or like, and with damage as well, then you'll just get your ult quicker. Um, I would I would be curious to see what it would look like if it just took the same approach as the Duelists and the Vanguards and did it to where it's like, if it was more cyclical and less of like individual impact, there would be some unique things you could do resulting from that. Like, you would have a better idea of like when you could engage people, like when they're close, they're all like stuff like that. Um, I don't know if this, like, I think that this change is really helpful for Vanguard and Duelists. I don't know how impactful this is for strategists, realistically speaking, just because it was never really about the passive energy charge anyway, at least in my mind. Like, it was always about you being able to pump out a lot, and in exchange, you get your ult quicker. And so the whole goal is to stay safe, pump out a lot, and get your ult quickly. And to me, at least, and granted, obviously, this is still just reacting to a dev vision. It's not like we're seeing this in effect. But to me, I don't know if this change really addresses that system enough, at least for support.
Will
But
be
let's see if he
reduced
says
less,
more.
while passive energy regen will be reduced more, for seemingly about 20% total reduction. This change rewards teams for successfully isolating, blocking, or diving enemy strategies healing, and after the distribution of limited healing energy, makes triple strategies teams' ultimate rotation less frequent due to low passive regen. This is a foundational change, and we will be monitoring it closely. Our goal is always to encourage lineup diversity, not to simply kill off triple strategies comps. Triple strategies teams will still offer high survivability through regular abilities, but may lag behind Vanguards and Duelists in ultimate cycles. Of course, there will always be exceptions. For example, a highly coordinated comp containing Gambit, Loki, Mantis will remain strong with good teamwork.
Oh, this is an interesting.
Ranged heroes have a vital role to inflict sustained harassment. They are required to check flyers and preemptively soften up divers.
I have never heard that expression before, but that is awesome. Because what he's talking about is like, you'll see Spidey like swinging in, or you'll see VP like running on like a high ground, and you'll just shoot some shots at him. It's like, like I know you're about to engage. You've already essentially committed to it. You're probably not about to go rotate for a health pack. You're about to come engage. So it's like now you're not at full health. But softening up a dive player, that is funny. I've never heard that one before.
This strategy elevates the constant threat faced by the backline, helping to maintain a smoother overall pace of confrontation. We don't want a scenario where divers or flyers completely dominate the battlefield, which will be exhausting for everyone, so we are cautious with adjustments to poke heroes, ensuring fair play and dynamic engagements. We already nerfed some ranged heroes in Season 6.5, and based on the comeback data, their win rates have shown a marked decline, so we will exercise caution in adjusting the ranged heroes. In Season 7, we will be nerfing Winter Soldier and Elsa Bloodstorm, while buffing Hawk, Blade, Black Panther, Darius Deadpool, and others.
Oh boy.
However,
Oh boy. Okay.
Since
Okay. I am really scared that we're buffing Deadpool. Like every other character on that list, I think was fine, except for Loki Hulk. Hulk does not need any more buffs. Like, I'm gonna be so for real. Like, Hulk is fucking broken now. Like, he was already good. It was just he had some stuff holding him back, especially with his ult, because his ult used to be doo-doo dog shit whenever you could just like freeze him, stun him. Like, but since that change has been removed, his ult has had an insane amount of value. And then he also now has the clap that pierces like in the ult too, which means like you're doing damage to everyone. So it's like I think Hulk was already fine. So I don't know what we would else we'd be giving Hulk. Like if anything, just give him a good fucking team up. Like he hasn't had a team up of his own since the game has come out. So like just give him a team up and leave base Hulk alone. Blade, fine. Fine. He was a bit shit. BP, he was also, I mean, that character was cheeks. So I'm fine with him being buffed, but Duelist Deadpool did not need a buff. Like, he's just a hard character, and he requires you to know how to constantly switch from gun and melee. And when you have gun, you need to have good aim, and when you have melee, you gotta have good game sense. So he's a hard character, but I don't think he needed buffs.
Blade, Black Panther, Darius Deadpool, and others. However, since Daredevil has been strong for several seasons, he will be nerfed.
Other
Beyond these
heroes.
broad changes, in Season 7.0, Doctor Strange and Vanguard Deadpool will be nerfed.
Figures.
While
Wait,
Iron
wait,
Man-
wait, 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 wait. What did Doctor Strange do, bro? Bro, see, you kind of know, like, in this game, they have, like, a low-key hidden list of, like, where every character is supposed to be. Because Doctor Strange has been strong for, like, one, like, like, remember, like, Gamma Strange? Strange gets, like, these seasons where he is, like, a great, fun character, like, viable character to play for, like, a season or two, where it's like, man, this feels amazing. Like, I'm doing damage, I'm creating value, like, this is great. And then they'll just fucking nerf him. And then he'll be a piece of shit. And they're like, you know what? We should actually probably fix him. Let's put his HP back up. Let's give him another meta-relevant team up. It's like, can we just leave Strange the fuck alone? Like, respectfully. Like, Strange is fine. But, like, it's maybe the data shows that he's too strong. And I haven't played in, like, Celestial or anything like that, or, like, One Above Vault. So maybe he's murking people in One Above Vault. But to me, I feel like he's fine. So I don't know. I don't know why we're nerfing him. Tank Pool, he was broken. We knew it was coming. So I mean, I can't really be mad about that.
Scarlet Witch and Luna Snow will be buffed. Emma Frost,
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. The thing is that like the community, like Luna doesn't need buffs. In all honesty, I think the community just does downplays her a lot. And granted, she doesn't have the amount of util that a character like Cloak and Dagger or Invis have, but that's fine. Like, I don't see why that's an issue because it's like she realistically shouldn't be able to compete with them unless she just becomes overtuned because she's a flank enabler, so she can flank herself, she can snowflake someone else, she can snowflake herself and do even more damage, or she can snowflake someone else and they get to be sustained. But it's like she's not meant to be like, the anti-dive character like Invis or like this Omega utility character like Cloak and Dagger. She like, in all honesty, she's realistically like more like Mantis. Although, I guess Mantis also has the utility of being able to buff everyone else. So, her true strength is just in the fact that she does a lot of damage, which means she's a great pick whenever you feel like you need more damage, but on a support. Um, I just from there, I don't really know what you buff about her. It's like you can change her, like you could give her more mechanics, like now she snowflakes two people, it'd be insane, but you could do that. But it's like I just don't know how you buff her because I don't think she's bad. Like her ult is fine, her base healing is fine. She just has a little less utility than the other supports, and I don't think that that's a problem. Granted, every other support has omega levels of utility, but to me, it's like that's just kind of how the game is at this point. It's like Rocket Raccoon has a res beacon and he shoots his gun. Um, like the util on him compared to some other ones is just not there. But it's like that to me is just more of like a fundamental like character diff. And I don't really know if you could just adjust people's numbers to compensate for that. Like at that point, Luna just might be a B tier character, and that's fine. So, but it's cool that they're buffing her, but again, unless she's now one tapping, like I just don't really know. Like, what do you change about her, and like how much value does it provide realistically?
Magic, Gambit, Invisible Woman, and others will receive training for the new environment. Gambit's ultimate is the main focus for Kissways.
They listen. They listen. To be honest with you, base kit, base kit, Gambit is strong. Um, and I think that that's fine because it's not free. As in, like, it's a little free, but it's like if you still got to use the cards correctly. It would be great if he only had one dash. Um, but he has two dashes. Like base kit, Gambit is extremely strong. Which means then his ult should just do less. Because I think you either need to have a strong ult or be a strong character, but I don't think he can be both. And I think it's fine if they make him the strong one and then just make his ult weaker. Because realistically, an ult that already builds other ults by 30% is just too fucking strong anyway. So it's like, let's just nerf that all the way down and then just make him a strong character in the neutral. Like that I think is fine because it allows for outplay, and more importantly, it doesn't create scenarios where you kind of just let him do his own thing, um, or uh, or as Gambit, you just do your own thing and then just like ult and win. So I like I like the change they're making. Crowd control, otherwise known as CC.
Marvel Rivals heroes are very mobile, which means landing skill shots can be tricky. That's why control effects are built into many kits to serve as a baseline guarantee for their skill sets. But as the hero roster grows, so does the number of CC effects, leading to negative gameplay experience when they stack. So, we are planning a new core mechanic change. If a hero is hit by multiple control effects in a short time, subsequent controls will be weakened. Since this is a big change, we will test Ruri before rolling it out, targeting season 7.5 if all goes well.
That's sick. Because to be honest with you, as someone with a broken CC myself, there is nothing funnier than seeing Daredevil or Thing run in and get like Emma stunned or like Emma grabbed and then slipped and then iceballed. Like it's funny and it looks great for the clip, but if you're the other guy, like you just want to like FF, like you cannot be having a good day. So I think that that's nice. I think that that's a really quality of life change. It'll it'll give dive a much easier, much more enjoyable experience. And it's not saying that like I was really scared because I thought I was going to say something like we're going to make him briefly immune to other CCs once you get hit by one because that would, that would be troll. But, just a slightly weaker version so like the sleep lasts a little less, the snowball lasts a little less. That's fine. That's a good change.
As always, this isn't everything. For full detailed balance changes, check the upcoming patch notes. We will also be releasing the Season 6.5 Hero Pick and Win Race very soon.
Rank adjustments, ban slots.
In competitive, bans per team will increase from 2 to 3.
We won. We finally won. Because two bans just is not enough to come out the number of terrorists that are in this game. Like, Gambit? Loki? Oh, no. No Daredevil? Sorry. No Invis? Sorry. No Groot? Sorry. Good luck playing against them. It's just you can never ban everything that's annoying, and obviously you shouldn't be able to ban everything, but can we just especially when you have a character like Elsa too that is like such a free ban, it's like we just need more. And that's kind of a natural thing anyway. Because as they add more characters, I mean, one character a month, like you're just gonna need more bans at some point. So that's a huge
each ban
change.
phase will be shorter.
That's also nice,
With
like
more
it doesn't have to
heroes
take
in
as
the
long.
pool, this should help balance the experience on both sides.
That's a huge change. Placements.
In Season 7, placement matches will now factor in personal performance.
Interesting.
After you finish all 10 placements, the system will evaluate your performance in those matches and adjust your starting rank accordingly. Good performance means a bonus, poor performance a slight reduction, up to a max of 1 division either way.
Interesting. Okay. That's cool. I like that.
Based on a great portion of the fan feedback, Tokyo 2099 Shin Shibuya will
W.
return to the competitive map pool
W.
in Season
That's-
7.
That map is like a classic good map. It's like you'll have your number of heartbreakers on there, but it's no Clintar. Like it's none of the Venom maps. It's not the freaking annoying domination one. Like it's W.
We all want Marvel Rivals to be the best game possible, and we are working around the clock to make sure it feels as great as ever. Please keep providing your feedback, and we are grateful for your kindness and patience. Ignite the battle.
Ignite the battle. So there you have it. Those were the changes. And to be honest with you, some of them were kind of crazy. Some of them were kind of insane. But overall, I think it was a massive W. I will be there again, really more so going back to the whole strategist ultimate. That is what I'm going to be the most curious about, just because I think from a duelist and Vanguard perspective, I think those changes are going to be really helpful. And it will just kind of like break everyone free from the whole I do damage, I get ult mentality. For the strategist one, it'll be interesting because it encourages more active participation instead of you just sitting AFK and getting your ult. But to me, like, if they did anything, I would want them to increase the amount of ult gain from damage and still reduce the amount of ult gain from healing. Because reducing the passive regen to me isn't enough, because it's not like they're just completely AFK. Like, even if they're rocket, they're still just going to sit there and like hold left click or whatever the healing move is. Which is like, if you're doing that, then it's like, and you're healing energy conversion is like the same or it's still favorable, then you still can just be AFK and get your ult in a relatively quick amount of time. Um, Granted, he did say overall they are still going to be reducing both. So even with you quote unquote being AFK, you won't get your ult as quickly. So that I think is still good. It would just be nice if there were a way, kind of like how they did for the Vanguard and Duelist, to just break that cycle a little bit between like I have to play like this in order to get my ult as quickly as possible so my team can win. Like it to me, even with this series of changes, again, unless they do a lot more in favor of like the damage contributing to the ult charge, I don't know if this is enough to completely justify the way how supports play the game. Just because again, when you do kind of become more active, there is more risk involved, meaning you could die, which obviously is going to impact your ult charge and timing and everything else. So it's like you kind of have to make it to where you you really can't just sit AFK and like expect things to go well or like have your ult like in time to compete with other people. And it may just be that way now naturally, even where like you're not just gonna be able to heal bot and get it. But I I think that'll be what I'm most the biggest unknown. The other two roles, like with their energy conversion cost, I think is beautiful. Chef's kiss. Can't wait to see it in action. But yeah, that was the last dev vision. As you can see, there was a lot of insane changes that were being made. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. I might be playing the game a bit more now, so you might be seeing more content as far as that's concerned. But otherwise, yeah, have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next one.